Hello and welcome to the 3D Printed Classroom. In this video, I'm going to be showing you what I've been up to this summer, and that is this, my mobile 3D printing cart. Alright, so my goal this summer was to create a series of videos documenting the building of my mobile 3D printing cart. For a number of reasons, I failed at that, and so instead I'm going to do just this one video laying out all of the things that I've included in this cart. My goal with this was to have a resource available for other teachers in the building. It's going to be a tool that teachers can bring into their classrooms that students can see and interact with. And it will contain all of the things that a classroom teacher would need to successfully 3D print. So to start off, I have my 3D printer. Now, as you know, if you're watching this, you may or may not know, you have to have a computer to download files, to make three-dimensional designs, and then also to slice those files. So my computer is just like a very simple HP. I got it used from the school district that I work for. I have my monitor mounted here. I chose to mount it on a pole that is then mounted to the desktop. Reason for this is that we need to have workspace. I need to have mouse space, but I also need room for tools. I might need room for clipping things with my side cutters. And so having this on a stand like that frees up a lot of the desk space. The other reason is that if I'm talking with students, either in a small group or a whole class, I can move this around. I can make sure that everybody can see what I'm talking about. And that, to me, is really important to have. Additionally, I made a little ledge for my keyboard. You know, I'm not going to be doing a lot of designing on this, so not having that extra number pad wasn't that important to me. So I got the smallest keyboard that I could find. I splurged and bought a mechanical keyboard. It was still pretty cheap, but you know, mechanical keyboards it's just a phase that I'm going through right now. Moving on to this bucket right here. This is something that I debated including onto this cart. It is a gasketed Tupperware container. Not Tupperware, gasketed rubber container. And it will allow me to store any PLA or other plastics and reduce the amount of moisture that they absorb. PLA especially is hygroscopic, so it pulls in moisture. And when that moisture gets pulled in, it can affect 3D prints. So this is going to just help keep this in good shape until we can use it. And so that, I've put some quarter round right there, and so that keeps it snug and in place. Now, there's a lot of tools that you need for the 3D printing, and again, there's a video explaining what tools you do and don't need. And I've included most, if not all of those tools into this cart. And so we're going to move around to the other side, and I'm going to talk about what I included and why. Right, so here's the tool wall for this mobile 3D printing cart. It's about half finished. I've had to adjust some things because I want to fit one more thing right down there. So on here I just have like the most basic things that a teacher would need in order to take care of this machine, make minor fixes to it, and also produce 3D prints. One of the first things, safety goggles, especially when you're trimming PLA to either put a spool on or remove a spool. Sometimes those little pieces will go flying when you cut them off. I have some of these, like, I don't know if these are, what these are, like forceps clamps, but they're very long and pinchy, so it's very nice to be able to get in and take some of that oozing, melting plastic off when it gets stuck on there. I have a heavy-duty pair of scissors. I have a caliper, or is this micrometer? I have a measuring device right here. My only complaint is that the analog ones that I found, and I kind of prefer the analog ones, they are not in metric, and so I don't enjoy that.
Good morning.
So I have some measuring devices like my calipers. I have a multi-screwdriver. This has 4 different heads included. I have my flexible paint scraper, my putty knife that we can use to dislodge prints. Then I also included some of these Irwin quick grip clamps, and I like to use those for when I have to glue 2 pieces of plastic together. I have my side cutters, needle nose pliers, and then, well, 2 pairs of side cutters, because why not? And then down here, just to make sure that everybody is safe, I have my, what is that called? I have my first aid kit. So I wanted to waste as little space as possible on this build, and one of the ways that I did that is to create, turn this into a door. And so, on top of being a wall to hold tools, it can also hold smaller parts. So I just got these trays. I got some at Harbor Freight, I got others at Home Depot, and I just reused an antique box that was just collecting dust in my garage and turned it into a shelf. Right now I have all of my Arduino parts. Not a lot of teachers in the school are going to be using this, but at least this is a nice place where I can keep my things nice, neat, and organized. And then there are 2 full empty boxes that are available to put some more stuff in. And so this closes and latches, and it holds those containers in nice and tight, and it keeps this snug against the cart itself. So these are all like the hardware tools. On the other side, let's go check out all the adhesives. On this side, this is normally how I have the 3D printing cart set up. I have my monitor facing the same way as the keyboard. I have my mouse pad here on the edge with my keyboard right here. The little bench, or the ledge that I made for the keyboard, I can just take that off really easily if I need more room for other things. So on top of it having a lot of room to store space, it can also be modified based on the teacher's needs. I tried to incorporate as many different types of useful adhesives as I could. I have my mini glue gun, packing tape, painter's tape, masking tape, and then this is one of my favorite things to use in 3D printing. I started using this stuff after seeing how Pseudo Wormy uses this 3M foam tape for his kind of like practical prints around his house and his makerspace. And so I bought a roll of it, and it really, this is irreplaceable. This is one of the most useful accessories for 3D printing that you can have. So a roll of that is absolutely necessary when you're creating your 3D station. So here it is, my 3D printing mobile workstation. Again, this is for use in my classroom. These are the tools and equipment that I'm using personally, but it is also for other teachers in my building to use and get exposure to 3D printing to teach the engineering and design process. This is like the first iteration of this cart, and I'm excited to use it this year and to see how it actually works. What is practical, what is not practical, and what changes I can make to make it an even better 3D printing workstation. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to subscribe and watch more of my videos, if you're curious as to some of the things that you might need for setting up and getting started with 3D printing, I have various videos that you can check out.